Hello everyone, I'm Reena Augustine and you're watching Community Impact. My guest today is Lynne Rose from Red Carpet Functions. Thank you so much, Lynne, for accepting to come and interview and share your story today.
Oh, thank you, Reena, for having me. It's lovely.
Pleasure to have you, darling. I have known you a couple of years now, and of course through events and through acting. So I met you at the set of a show that we both were going for the audition. And I saw this bubbly lady sitting over there and chatting away with me. India was our topic.
Exactly.
So you have been to India?
Yes, I've been to India 4 times. And when I saw you sitting there, because normally you're not supposed to actually talk when you're in the waiting room because they say it puts you off. And I went, oh, and I've got to say something to this lady. She looks like she just needs to have a chat. And when you said you'd done Bollywood, I was like, wow, I actually dance Bollywood as well too. So yes, I've been to India 4 times and it's just been amazing.
So Lynne, you actually are born and bred in Australia?
Yes.
Originally Melbourne?
Yes, originally Melbourne. Then when I was about 10 years old, we moved up to Brisbane. And yes, and from there I've travelled overseas and that's how I got to India. Why India? It was a spur of the moment thing. I had a few things that I went through in life and I just went, you know what, I just need to go and do something out of my comfort zone. So I went, okay, let's go to India.
That's how you ended up in India.
Yes.
So Bollywood dancing, what inspired you, and you've been continuing since then, right?
Yes. Yes. So what I did was I went on a Trinitas tour, which went around India. I started actually in Chandigarh, and then I went on the Trinitas tour, and then from there I did a workshop with Delhi Dance Academy.
Wow.
And with Delhi Dance Academy, it was the first time I'd ever done Bollywood. And I was like, oh my goodness me, when I get back to Australia, I really need to do this. It was just something, I had done some dance before, but nothing like that. And so I went, yes, when I get back to Australia, I'm going to do this. And then it took me probably a year to find somebody. It was on a music video, similar to what we did. I actually found a Bollywood instructor. And she said to me, well, I'm in the north, but I can actually find you someone who's in the south. So I went, okay, all right. And that's how I started. I started with Bollywood Connections. And I went back to Delhi 3 times after that. And then when I came back, I started dancing and here I was performing at the Ekka.
Wow. And the NGO, you're a part of an NGO.
Yes. So when I went to Delhi, the 4th time I went to Delhi, I was over there for a wedding in Chandigarh up in Haryana. And I had been to Agra on a previous trip and I went to Mother Teresa's orphanage down in Agra. And it just, I don't know, something inside of me, when I left there, I just vowed that I would actually come back one day and give back to the Indian community because they had given me so much on the trips over there. So I went over and volunteered with a company called Jamgat, which is an NGO over there, and I volunteered in a girls' shelter. I was only there for 10 days, but I tell you what, that 10 days changed my life. It was just amazing. They have a shelter for the boys and they also have run a daycare, like a childcare sort of centre during the day as well too. And I know they were struggling at one stage, and the original tour company that I went with, Trinitra Tours, I joined them with Jamgat to help each other. And so now Trinitra actually brings their clients through into Jamgat, into the Women's Empowerment Program, which they run as well too.
So you connected them?
Yes, I connected them. It took 2 years in the making, but I actually connected them, and I want to go back to Delhi to see how that has all panned out. So they both keep in contact with me. I actually did a Zoom yoga with the Jamgat girls about a couple months ago. And it was lovely to actually talk to them. We did a WhatsApp chat as well too. Amit Sinha, who founded Jamgat about 16, 17 years ago. At the moment, they're making masks for the people in Delhi. And the Women's Empowerment Program are doing that. So they're out there feeding the community as well too. So it's just amazing.
What an amazing cause.
Yes.
And you're a part of it and you're still continuing to do so.
Yes, I can't wait to get back to Delhi so I can actually see how it's all gone down. Both companies are constantly in contact with me and letting me know how it's gone. So pre-COVID, it was amazing. Trinity were putting up photos of their customers and their tour people coming into Jamgat, into the Women's Empowerment Program, and the women were they make bags, they make like clothes and things like that. And as I said, they're helping the community right now.
Yeah, wow. Lynne, and you are doing a lot with the multicultural community here in Brisbane itself and of course in Queensland. What made you do that, and who motivated you?
Well, as I said, with the Bollywood, when I came back, I don't know, India changes you. When you sort of first go over there, it was the first time I sort of travelled solo myself, and it just, I don't know, it just changes you. You go over there, you come back and you go, I need to declutter. I don't need this, I don't need that. Because you see people in India, like on the streets and things like that, who've got nothing and yet they're happy. You know, that's something that was amazing that I found compared to Australia. There's so many people over here who have everything and yet they're still not happy. So when I came back, it really changed my attitude and my values as well too. So I started the Bollywood dance, and as I said, I've been back to India like 3 times after that first initial visit. Got caught in a snowstorm up in the Himalayas, up in Manali, Shimla, heading to Mashara. And that was amazing. I thought I was going to die in the Himalayas in a taxi at midnight. And the taxi driver had never seen snow, and he was, you know, crashing into other cars and things. So I've had some amazing experiences over there.
Back alive here though.
Yes, exactly. And then that day I met you in the audition, that was an amazing day because, I mean, I personally didn't walk out as you did. We both of us walked out without actually getting that audition, but we walked out with a friendship, a lifelong friendship. And of course I started with you with red carpet functions, modelling for you. I think, you know, I've done the Buddha Festival, I've done the Now Ritz.
Can't count.
So many.
Lynne, I would like to actually point out what you said about, you know, you saw people are happy without even having anything that we all have here and blessed here in Australia. What did you mean by that? What did you exactly mean by that?
Well, in Australia, we want status, a lot of us, as in, you know, the big car, the big house and everything like that. And I personally myself had gone through that, and then I got to a stage where that didn't mean anything anymore. And when I went to India that first time, especially when I went to Mother Teresa's orphanage, and I travelled around Jaipur and Agra and of course Delhi and up through, I've been up to Amritsar and places like that as well too. And just, I don't know, the Indian people just seem so happy with what they have. And I feel that everybody should actually go to India. Anyone in Australia really needs to go to India because they need to see what it's, you know, what it's like not to have the material things and to have the things that are in here.
And still be happy.
And still be happy.
So did you get Delhi belly?
Okay. The first time I went, I had the malaria tablets, and I sort of was mainly in the hotels. I had dinner with a family in Jaipur on one night, which was lovely. But I had a little bit of it the first time, but then the next times that I went, I didn't. So that was really good.
Used to it.
Yes, exactly.
So you love the curries?
Well, I'm not actually, to be honest, I'm not a major fan of Indian food, but I'm starting to.
Okay.
I'm starting to get there. So a lot of times when I was over there, they actually made me Western food.
Oh, wow.
But now, like, yes, I'm eating a lot more Indian food as well. Went to the Bollywood bar the other day, actually.
Oh, yeah, just
that was
around
really
the corner.
nice.
Yeah,
yes. Of course, you've cooked for me as well.
Oh, that was my first time. So what is the curry that you like?
I like chicken curry. I actually butter chicken, mango chicken, because where we are, we're in West End, usually in our hall, which is unfortunately shut at the moment, but across from there we have the Indian kitchen, which I like to pop over for a masala chai.
Wow, I love masala chai.
So do I.
Yes.
The first time I ever had it, I was in a cab going from between Chandigarh and Amritsar to the airport, and my cab driver stopped along at one of the little stalls on the way, and I think I had goat's milk in there, and he said to me, he goes, "Oh, I'm just going to chai," and I'm going, "Look, oh no, it's okay, fine, you know, because Delhi belly." Yes. Anyway, he got it for me, and I was drinking, and I was like, "Oh my goodness, how good is this?"
Oh, wow.
This is just Wow. And so masala chai is now on
with
my
goat's
list
milk.
as well.
I've never tried that actually.
No, it was just really creamy. Well, to me, it felt really,
Wow.
it tasted
Awesome.
really creamy.
Now, of course, Indian culture, our clothes, and I can see that you are in this beautiful kurta.
Thank you.
It suits you so well.
Thank you.
So, yeah. So
I actually, I wore this to the bride's night for the wedding I attended in Chandigarh. And I actually bought it in Chandigarh as well too. So just lovely.
Wow.
And even the jhumka.
Oh, beautiful jhumka. You can even pronounce it so well, Lynn. That's amazing.
Yes.
Lynn, one thing which I would like to ask you is, apart from India, have you traveled anywhere else?
Yes, I have travelled to Canada and the USA, and I've travelled to Fiji. Haven't travelled to Europe, Canada as well too. So, and only halfway around Australia. But interesting enough that we say US, because I'm actually doing a radio show. I'm a guest, the Aussie foreign correspondent in this pandemic for Radio Azad, which is a Desi radio station. That broadcasts out of Irving, Texas.
That's the reason I asked you, have you traveled? Because you've got these connections and you're part of this radio station.
Yes.
And doing shows as a radio station. So, being so multicultural, talking to so many multicultural people, what is the one thing that you will take away and what is the one thing that you don't like about? Is it a good question?
Well, doing your red carpet function parades has been amazing. I have met so many beautiful people from so many different cultures, which has really widened my eyes as well too, that we can all come together on stage. It's just a beautiful thing that you've done with red functions, red carpet functions, and I just love the different cultures, just the music. I have a Bollywood playlist.
Wow.
On my phone.
That is amazing. That's amazing. So bringing cultures together, that's the theme, and you actually love it.
Yes, absolutely love it.
Any drawback you think? Anything that you are not liking as compared to Western culture and the other cultures, or?
Probably the only barrier would be like the language. But I myself am learning Hindi at the moment. Don't get too excited. Only on Duolingo, which is an app. So I'm actually learning Hindi. Spanish I've been learning for about 5 years, and I actually narrated a poem in Spanish the other day for an art installation in the Line London Gallery for an artist.
Wow. So
Yes.
what have you learned in Hindi?
Let me see. Tum kaisi ho?
Bilkul achhi. Wow, that is amazing. Lynn, the last question I would like to ask you is, what is the one thing that you would like to tell our viewers who are pursuing to be an actor or an actress or a model?
Okay, so my main thing is when I started, I was a little bit scared. So what I did was I put myself on a couple of websites, one of them being actually Star Now. And what I would say to you is take any opportunity you can. So whether it's paid or whether it's unpaid, it doesn't matter when you're starting out. Because I did a lot of student films and they are great to learn on, especially because I didn't do film and drama at uni at all. So I learnt a lot of the craft on set. And from starting with unpaid work, I actually have been on children's TV programs, feature films, music videos. It's been amazing. So just explore every opportunity that you can.
Thank you so much, Lynn, for being in the show.
Thank you, Reena.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for watching The Community Impact. I'm Reena Augustine, and I'll be seeing you next week.